parents both do this. My mother and my father do this. And I originally brought my father in, battled heart disease for a number of years. And he was doing his cardiac rehab for years. Over the course of the years, my dad's health kept declining. And it got to a point where he was below what they considered the threshold of survival.
My son comes here, and I was back in cardiac rehab. I have a 22-year history of heart problems. I have about a 65% efficiency rate in my heart from open heart surgery and so on and so forth. So I was not doing real well, so this cardiologist had me back in cardiac rehab.
He kept resisting. He said, you know, the thing that I like about the cardiac rehab work that he was doing was they hook him up to monitors and they can test, you know, they do these tests throughout, before and after his workouts and at the end of the week, and so they can really monitor his progress. And so my response was, and it's been declining ever since you've been training there. And he said, yes. And I said, Tom, we don't need monitors to tell you you're dead. Like, well, I'll just walk up and like shake you and be like, hey, Pops, you died, right? We don't need monitors for that. And that was my way of really kind of shocking him into thinking it from a new perspective.
And Brian felt that they weren't doing enough for me. He said I had to come here. He didn't ask me to come, he told me to come. And it turns out that Jay, he had worked in the cardiac rehab department. So he not only knew what they were doing for me, but he added in what he felt would do to help me. And it really did help me. My heart refraction went from 44 to 49, which the cardiologist said it never happens. So, and I'm very grateful he did that because I needed a new hip, and so that was one of the requirements, that I had over 40 heart refraction or else they wouldn't do the surgery. So that was a couple of years ago. I got the new hip. So then came time to get my new knee. I had the surgery in February, and I went 2 weeks ago to get my final release from the surgery. He said he really thought very deeply about performing the knee surgery. He said the hip surgery he didn't have a problem with because there's not as many moving parts. It's a much easier, it's not as stressful to the body. Knee surgery is extremely stressful. And it's not only the surgery, but it's the rehab later. And so he actually said he thought about it at home, and he said, well, his rehab was did so well at the hip, wherever he was going for training, he said, I'll chance it. And so he did the knee surgery, and he's very happy with the results, and he's very happy that I am doing as well as I am, and he thinks it's because I was here.
As he trained here for weeks and years, his tests began to improve. So when he would go for his annual test or every 6 months, he began to improve. And I knew that would happen if he started training here.
Because of my heart disease, I don't recover well. I get very fatigued, and it takes quite a while to recover. But with persistence, I've learned that if I keep doing it, I do get a little stronger and I get a little better. So instead of sitting around and saying, I don't want to do that, I realize I have to keep going. I know there's limitations of what I can do, but I know that if I want to keep living a long time, I have to keep doing it. So that's what motivates me to do it.
It promotes strength, it promotes health. It's the way the body is supposed to work, and that's the way we train. That's the difference between the way we train and the way the other people train, the way other people rehab and the way we rehab. We encourage the body, and what we do pushes it to its ideal state of strength and speed and health and fitness, and it's hard to do because your body wants to be lazy, it wants to get fat, it wants to atrophy. Left to its own devices, you would be really physically worthless. And our training promotes what I consider maximum performance, and in my dad's case, health and life.
The only thing I want to add is I'm just grateful that I was told to come here, and now I just think it's the best thing that ever happened to me.